Welcome, dear viewer, to the Rays of Hope program this week. Here, we inspire courage, resilience, and hope, and we are glad that you have joined us today. And I'm very excited that on set I'm joined by Mrs. Lydia Ngwire. She is a counseling psychologist, a teacher, an author, and a mother of young people. And so she brings on board all this experience in our talk today. And today, we are talking about powerful parenting. Powerful parenting. Welcome, Mrs. Ngwire.
Thank you so much,
Please say hello to
Reverend.
the viewer.
Hello, viewers. I'm Lydia Ngwire. I'm a teacher, still teaching, a counseling psychologist, and like Reverend has said, I'm a mother of young adults. All of them are young adults, and I'm also a grandmother of one, and I'm so proud to be a grandmother.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here, and
Yes.
it's always a joy
Yeah.
and actually an honor to host you at CAC TV.
Thank you.
You bring a
thank
lot of insights.
Yeah.
You bring some depth into very, very important areas of our lives. And today, talking about powerful parenting, I want us to start off by reading a verse in the book of Proverbs, chapter number 22 and verse 6. Train a child in the way he should go. Train a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not turn from it. And when he is old, he will not turn from it. What does this verse speak to you?
Okay. As a counseling psychologist, I deal with adolescent and young adults. The young adults are the ones who are at the university, and others through with the university, but majority of them at the university. And what I have discovered from talking to the young people, dealing with them individual counseling, I deal with adolescents, I have discovered that most of the issues that we are dealing with during the adolescent period are stemming from family issues. In other words, they are stemming from parenting. So if this child was not trained when they were young, it becomes so difficult to deal with them when they are old, because already the character has been formed. And that the Bible is very clear. Train a child when they are still young. When they grow old, they will not depart from it. Unfortunately, how many of us know that? And you realize parents are getting children, and then all is well. And they are not taking it seriously. The child is left with the house girl. They are not even taken to church. The father and the mother are not going to church. And the child is taken, it's just brought up by the house girl, who is teaching their own culture, not your culture, because they are teaching what they know, what they got from their parents. And this child is not trained who to be. We don't build the character of that child when they are young. And psychologists say, give me a child the first 5-6 years, and I'll give you a human being who is responsible. So that's where the training is. Right from when the child is in the womb, up to around 6-7 years, you have built the character of that child. And that's why I wrote this book. Wonderful Parenting, Foundation Steps Towards Good Character. Because the foundation steps are when the child is young. And that is when the parents are able to build that character by bonding with the child. But you cannot bond with a child when they are already big. You bond with them when they are small. Because during adolescent and young adults, there's a lot of peer pressure. The children are going so much where it is like, this, I should be told this, I should do this, because everybody is doing it. But there's always something that links in the mind of a child. My mom, my dad. And that will prevent them from doing what everybody else is doing. What if there was no bonding? They don't know who their mom is, because their mom comes and leaves. Their dad comes and leaves. So there is no connection. So what do you expect of them? The wave. Change, that wind will carry them, because there is no, most of us, we did not do so many bad things because my mom says, and if my mom knows this is going to happen, or my dad. But these ones, all what they know is, the house girl. I once dealt with a child who had come to Form 1 and he had a problem, and I asked him, whom can I contact, your mom or your dad? And then he said, no, the school matron.
Sad.
So which school matron? The former primary school.
Former primary
school matron. That is the person the boy has bond with. Not mom,
none of the parents.
Not mom, not dad. It is very sad.
And you're very right, Mrs. Ngwiri.
Yes.
Talking about mom said, dad said,
yes.
Those significant others. In our lives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an adult.
Yeah.
And I find myself doing things the way my mother does them,
yes.
or did them.
Yes.
And it keeps ringing in my mind what she said, what my dad said. That's so true.
Yeah.
And it never leaves us.
Yeah.
So it's a tragedy if these first years of life are missed.
Yes.
It's really a tragedy. And parenting has the flaws, the gaps in parenting now have become more pronounced with the things happening, especially the school unrest and all that. And I think the corona season has actually exposed us in very many ways. So what are the challenges that are there today? What do you observe at school and in your counseling career?
As a counselor, I'm dealing with schools. I have been to quite a number of schools doing psychosocial support, because what the government did was to bring just told the teachers do psychosocial support, but the teachers do not know how to go about it. So I've been training teachers in different schools, and I've also been doing psychosocial support to students, and have a wealth of experience from those boys and girls, because they talk during the sessions, whether it is individual or whether it is a group. And most of them went through a lot of traumatic events, especially because of quarrels and fights between the parents. And they really get affected. Children get affected. Some of them can even remember when I was 3 years. And you wonder, 3 years. And they can remember.
As early as 3
and
years.
It is true.
Yeah.
When I was 3 years, this happened to mom. Mom did this to dad, or dad did this to mom. And I still remember. So during the COVID period, there was this issue of we are not going anywhere. We are locked down. You can't go to the village, you cannot go to work. So we are all in the house. Both parents are in the house. They have never been there. Because they wake up in the morning, they leave. They come in the evening, they sleep. So there's no connection between the parents, and there's no connection between the parents and the children. Now all of them are locked in the house. And there's bitterness. There's anger. Of course, I don't have a job, or there's a pay cut. I cannot move. I cannot go to the bar. I cannot go to visit. So I'm just in the house. And that is very frustrating.
It is.
For human beings. The children have never known their mother because she goes, she comes. And now there was a lot of, that's when you are running who your children are. You are running who your husband is. You are running who your wife is. And there was a lot of conflict. Now the effects are being seen in school. Poor concentration, suicidal thoughts. So many boys and girls that want to commit suicide. Of course, school unrest comes in. Because if I'm not satisfied with myself, I do not care. There's a girl who wanted to burn a school a few years back. And she was caught before she did it. And when she was brought in for counseling, I asked her, is it true you actually wanted to burn the dormitory? And she said yes. Then I asked her, do you sleep in the same dormitory? Then she said yes. Then why did you want to burn others? Then she said, I do not care who dies, including myself. And the reason was she had been defiled by the father, who was a stepfather, but she did not know it was a stepfather. Because she said, if I knew it was a stepfather, I would have been more careful with him. But I did not know. So she was blaming the mother. You see why the school is being banned? It has nothing to do with the school.
Yeah. The school is okay.
The school is okay.
Systems are okay.
The systems are okay.
But
she's fighting back.
Yeah.
What is happening now in schools, there's a lot of fighting. because there's a lot of anger trapped in children because of what happened during the COVID, we are calling it COVID vacation. So there is a lot of fighting. They're actually fighting. I have been to schools where the Form 2s and the Form 3s have decided now we fight.
You mean physical?
Physical fighting. I have dealt with the cases of children who are fighting. And some of them, it is me and you who are quarreling, but somebody else comes in and becomes their grieved person now. And he is so angry with you, and the fight was not between you.
They don't even understand what was going on between us.
But he's the one who is going to fight now. Why? Because there's emotions that are trapped inside that are too much for this child, because all those emotions, all those things that happened during the COVID-19, nothing has been dealt with. They were not allowed to express themselves. No psychosocial support was done, because psychosocial support is where they sit down and they express themselves, and they say, this is what we faced, this is what I faced. They faced a lot of, some of them were not eating because there was no food. Some of them were living in a certain level. They went down because there is no money. Others were emotionally and sexually abused. When you hear about teenage pregnancy, it is not a joke.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke. I'm going to girls' schools and I'm finding 3-4 girls pregnant in the school. Those are the ones that have come back. You find others have not come back. When did it happen? Some of them were abused, others it was just sex, premarital sex. And there they are. And of course the boys are also suffering, because they also, that issue of I'm going to be jailed because of having sex with an underage. Those boys in secondary school, they had sex with who? With the girls that day. So there is also that fear among the boys. Maybe that girl became pregnant and I do not know what to do. So that one is also coming out when I'm talking to students. It's like I'm wondering, they come after. It's like I'm wondering whether she became pregnant and what is going to happen to me. So those are the issues and very many others.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so parenting is a process.
Yes.
And parenting, I believe, is done by parents, biological, guardians, and even institutions.
Yes.
We're in this together.
Yeah.
So how do we navigate through all this that is happening? Because it's glaring at us.
One thing, and what has brought a problem with parenting is now, there in the past, there was, even when I was being brought up, it's not my mother and my father only. There was my grandmother, there was my aunt, my uncle, and the whole village. The child belonged to the whole village. So if I made a mistake along the road, another lady will beat me, take me home, and I will be beaten. But today, those social structures are destroyed. Children don't know who their grandmother is. They don't know who their aunts are. They actually don't know. And if they know, they just know this is Auntie Wanjiru full stop. They don't know. There is no interaction, not like there before. So the good social structures that took care of the child. Because why are children committing suicide today? Because I have a problem. I have nobody to run to. Those days, if you are promised a beating, you would run to your grandmother, because she's there. And she will not allow you to be beaten. But after she has talked on your behalf, she will come and tell you, Nawewe, make sure you don't do it again. You see? But today, the children are running away. You hear they have gone to Mombasa, they have gone to the streets. So many of them, I'm dealing with so many children that are running away from school to go to the streets. Because they have a problem, but they have no one to tell. They don't know whom to tell. Because those social structures have been destroyed. And then there's also this, even if we are living together in the same compound, brothers, and this is my child, and you see my child making a mistake, ask my brother, and you come and tell me, then I'm going to question what is your interest. So I will see those things and keep quiet, because I don't want to be questioned. So that social structure is gone.
And we're also in a generation that believes in rights.
Yes, yes.
The way I bring up my children, my choice.
It is my choice. Actually, you will be asked a very bad question.
And even teachers can't question. They can't even give honest feedback.
They
parents.
can't. They can't. Because what is happening is that the parent is left alone to take care of the child, but the parent is also not there. I call them absent parents. They are not there to take care of the child. Then they become overprotective of this child, such that where the school can correct the mistake, it can't.
They're not allowed to.
We can't, because the parent is very overprotective and want the child. It's like you are not saying the truth about my child, yet you have seen it. You know, a teacher is a professional, and the teacher can see there is a problem here.
And the teacher spends more time with the child.
Of course. And you realized when the teachers were not with the children, they all became pregnant, or most of them became pregnant when they were with their parents, because there's respect for a teacher that a child has, that parents used to help the child to continue with it. But most of the parents is abusing the teacher, is talking ill of the teacher, and the child loses respect for it. That is why they are stabbing the teacher, because now they have no respect for it. Although the teachers are also to blame to some extent, because also some teachers have become a bit irresponsible.
They are not modeling.
They are not modeling. Yes. So it's a process where the parent, the grandparent, the auntie, everybody should get involved. The teachers and the church. And the church should also get involved, because the church school teacher plays a very great role in the character formation of a child. So what are we doing as a church because that is the generation to come. The church of tomorrow is the church school. So church school is very, very, very important. But most of the schools, the churches, what they do, they are very good at church school. But adolescent,
we lose it.
We lose it. So when you lose them at adolescent, by the time they are coming back, because show them the way, they will come back. By the time they are coming back, they have gotten into drugs. So it is now almost impossible because of addiction. That's where we are losing them. Adolescent, young adults, before we send them to the society.
And when we are talking about the role of the church, that is what we call actually Christian education.
Yes, Christian education, yes.
They are bringing up children, young people, and all people actually, through the phases of life, in a way that they will be grounded, and be able to face the challenges of their day.
Yes.
And I think we need to emphasize that. Now, talking about the respect for teachers, I remember going to school in the 80s and 90s. A teacher was the most respected person. I remember we would stand up when the teacher was passing. I remember even at the shops, you would hide. Lest your teacher sees you. And one thing we dared not to do was to report that maybe you've been punished by the teacher, because it will be doubled at home. And I think somewhere along the way, we've lost that respect. And we've lost the respect for the institutions, and we need to go back.
It is true.
This is a call. You've written very powerful books.
Thank you.
I'm just curious, because we'll be discussing something about this, because of the topic that we're discussing, powerful parenting. And this is a very powerful book. But please introduce us to the others.
Okay, thank you so much. This one is called Wonderful Parenting.
And if you can,
Wonderful Parenting, Foundation Steps Towards Good Character. And this is what I was talking about. You create the character of the child when they are young. When they are young. Right when they are in the womb, and after they are given birth to around 6 years, you have character.
Train up a child
the way he should go. And when he's old, he'll not depart from it. So this is a very powerful book. And I have written about how do you help a child in discipline, because children must be disciplined, so that you don't overdo it, and you also do not overprotect them.
A balance.
Yes, a balance. How do you discipline them?
It's still a child. You're dealing with a child.
Yes. How do you teach them how to do work? Because they are becoming so irresponsible. You remember the advert of Utahamara Udihi? That is 34, 35-year-old man who is still living 40. With the 40, who is still living with the mother. Why are they still living with the mother? Because they were not taught how to be responsible. So then I'm teaching how do you teach responsibility. Then self-esteem. Children are suffering from low self-esteem because of the way they are being brought up at home. And I've written about how do you tell my child is suffering from low self, and how do you help that child? Because, for example, we have really need on academic performance, and this child feels useless. And we are pushing them into low self-esteem and so on. So that is then this one, challenging parenting, what every parent of an adolescent should know. Because where we are making mistakes is here. Because now we have to change the discipline method. Because this is an young adult. Because they are in the adult, they are very, very, very sensitive to what you say and what you do. Even quarreling them in front of the small children or before others.
That's a big deal.
And you can lose the child from there. In fact, there's a girl who shared how she was embarrassed by the mother because a boy from the church, and they were supposed to do a certain concert during the corona vacation after the churches were opened, and they were to practice before the day. So that particular day, so the girl said, I cannot be allowed to go out, can you come to our home? And the boy was sent away by the mother and told, you are coming to have sex with my daughter, and that girl attempted suicide. You see, just because of that embarrassment. So parents don't know how to handle the adolescent. They don't know how to handle the adolescent sexuality, peer pressure. They don't know how to handle the academics. They don't know how to communicate with them. And that's what I've written in this one.
Thank you.
And then there's this one, worry no more on your road to maturity. This is for the adolescent themselves. Because they have so many issues about themselves, but they do not know answers. They are very good in technology. You give them a phone, they are very good. But life skills. So that's what I'm teaching them. How do you handle sexual matters? How do you handle pornography? How do you handle drug abuse? And so on. So those are the books, and then that one,
and
Powerful Parenting.
Powerful Parenting.
Yes.
And actually it's a powerful book. And I think we have addressed the first part of why parenting is a challenge today, unless there's something you want to add on that.
I think I've
covered that. So, challenges facing parents. I think every parent out there would want to know or want to relate so that they know they are not the only ones that are going through these challenges.
One of the challenges facing parents now today is the use of social media. It's a major challenge to parents because the child has the phone or needs a phone because everybody else has. So should I give the phone? Should I not give a phone? If I give a phone, and most of them just give the phone, even when the child is small. You just give the phone and the child, a toy, and the child got used to. Unaona, somebody is 1 year old and they can even operated the phone.
I saw a girl who can get videos from the phone.
Yes.
And she was 1.5.
1.5. Yeah. Then when she goes to school, you want to take the phone away from them. You have made a great mistake. So how do you handle the issue of the phone from when the child is small? Even when they are big, how do you handle the issue of the phone? How do you handle the issue of internet? Especially with the corona vacation, Wi-Fi everywhere, because we are zooming as far as studying is concerned, and children went into pornography. I'm telling you, it is a major issue in schools now. Homosexuality is a major issue because now all that is in their minds.
It's in their minds.
That's a major challenge facing parents. They don't know what to do. Another major issue facing parents is balancing work and parenting. At what point do I do what? I must earn a living, but on the other hand, I must take care of my children. So parents need to be trained on how to balance work and balance family so that you don't work and forget the family, and this work is coming to an end, but the family is not coming to an end. It's you that you leave the family when you die. So your family remains. So the family remains very, 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 very important. But what is our priority today as parents? Looking for money. We are in class, we are doing masters, we are doing what? Yet I have small children. There is time for everything. So parents need to know. Another major issue which I actually am feeling for the parents is drug abuse.
And that's major, Mrs. Ngwere. I want us to tackle this after break.
Sawa.
So, viewer, we are very happy that you're still with us, and these are great insights, because we are all wondering, what do we do? What can we do? We really want to help, but how? And how do we identify these challenges and these issues? So we're taking a short break, and then we'll be back to hear more, and also the solution side. So what do we do? So after exposing all these problems, so what? Please don't go away.
Power is sweet.
It's very, very difficult for you to find a regular person, yani mse wa mtaa, amepatiwa such a position.
We saw the scandal at Kenya Power, we saw the scandal at the Treasury, Arorki Mwareda. Are those people youth?
They united together because of their own businesses.
Power tends to corrupt, and absolute powers corrupts absolutely.
In our Africa culture, when you have food in the mouth, you don't speak. Are they eating? That's why the issue of impeaching the president stopped.
This is Power Brief, where we major on politics.
Pastors should not be seen leading a demonstration in the streets. We never saw the elders that came before us doing those things.
Power Brief is now bigger and better. Every Thursday from 8 p.m. join Cornelius Omuse, Honorable Jeremiah Kioni, Edgar Kosgei, and a team of experienced political and governance analysts for powerful discussions on politics, governance and economy, only on CAC TV. Are you looking to grow a business? CAC TV offers you a variety of advertising opportunities to suit your budget. Advertise with us today and reach your potential customers countrywide. For more information, email us on sales@cactv.org or call 0794 588 054.
Welcome back, dear viewer. We are today discussing powerful parenting. Very relevant, very timely topic for the days that we're living in. And in the first part of the show, together with Mrs. Ngwere, we were hearing about what's happening, school unrest and all this, and we are all zeroing down to the issue of parenting, because we can now identify that there is a problem. And the Bible reminded us from Proverbs 22 verse 6 that we need to train up children in the way they should go while they are young. Train them up when they are young, and when they grow old, they will never depart from it. And that's where we departed from, and therefore we are having all these issues. So back to where we ended. We're talking about the challenges facing parents.
Yeah.
And you started off talking about drug abuse.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a major issue, and I'm not a drug addiction counselor, but in the process of dealing with adolescents, I come across very many of them that have taken drugs. And right now they are being sent away from school because now they have started smoking. They are running away from school because they want to go and get more of the bang or whatever they are taking. And I'm finding the major drug that they are abusing is bang, and they're also taking a lot of alcohol. And during the COVID vacation, they did marvelous as far as
They perfected that.
They perfected drug abuse properly.
And many got introduced during that.
Many got introduced, and others that had just started, now they got a chance. You know, the going back to school breaks the habit, because the school is a controlled environment.
Sure.
So taking that drug to school is not very easy. So the fearful ones will not. Of course, there are few that will go and sell, but you know it will come to an end. And so they look for ways and means of running away from school to go and get another one. So during half time is when they take it, and during the school holidays. But now it's short, so they go back. But now they had 9 months, so most of them cannot remain in school because they have become hooked. Especially those who had started earlier, and now they just had 9 months of doing it. So they can't remain in school. And it is such a major. In fact, one of the reasons why schools are banned is drug abuse, because most of them we don't want to do exams. We are not ready for the exams, whichever exam, whether it is a Form 1 exam. I'm not ready for it. And if we can ban the school closes. There will be no. If we can break all the windows, the school closes. Will be sent home, and I'll go back home and continue. Most of them were earning a living, boda, construction, funny businesses. Others were selling the drugs, and they had money. So they have money. So how can they remain in school? So that's another issue that is bringing about school unrest. But coming back to drugs, I'm feeling for the parents, because it's a matter of he has taken or she has taken. There she is. Convincing that child to get out of that habit becomes an issue now. I wish they had not started from the beginning, but now they have started. Getting out of it is very, very, very difficult. I'm finding parents very desperate, totally desperate. I do rehabilitation, school-based rehabilitation, where we go through a certain process, and some of them will stop, but not all of them will stop. And I tell parents, if you come to know about drug abuse of a child when they're in class 6, class 7, Form 1, Form 2, take charge from there. Do something about it, even if it is stopping to go to school fast, and you handle that. Even if they are going to come back to school after 2. See, when a girl becomes pregnant, they go to home and they give birth, and then they come back. Even this one, let them go out of school, because every parent, when you recommend that, it's like atamalizalini, it doesn't matter. They are not doing anything in school because of what they are thinking is bad.
And for some, the image.
Yes, an image. So I would rather deal with it then and finish about it, rather than we push the child, until it is too late. I'm dealing with depression cases, psychotic cases. Now, this one cannot be in school now. Now they are beyond. Now after COVID, now they are beyond. They cannot be in school because they are beyond. They need to be in a rehab somewhere. And so parents have that nini of denial. So they can see it. They saw it in class 4, but they are also in denial. So it's a major issue. Parents also contribute. There's a boy who shared the other day in a certain meeting we were with in a certain school that he started smoking and drinking because of being sent by the father
to buy the same.
You see, now we are modeling for them. When you said them, or when you are doing the same, what do you expect of them? They also do the same. But I also find that parents do not understand drug abuse. To them, it's a joke. Until the child is hooked, that is when they are realizing this is not a joke. Because you get a parent and you tell your son is drinking, and it is like, what is wrong with drinking?
What's your problem?
Yeah, what's your problem? In fact, it's like, what's your problem? What they don't realize is that child is drinking illicit alcohol or illicit whatever it is. And they'll get addicted very fast. And from then onwards, they become totally useless. And they are becoming totally, you have seen them, totally useless. Ni kutoa rock tu, asubuhi ni kutoa rock. And that's why the child is heading. But the father is like, because he has been taking Tasker, and he thinks it's okay. But this one is not taking whatever you have been taking. The kind of alcohol that is there now is bad. It's not the Moratina and the like. Even the Moratina is not the same. It is raced with so many other things. They are taking Changa and the like. So it's a major challenge. And
plus, they are still growing.
Of course, they are still growing.
And therefore, you give them a chance to destroy their brain.
Of course.
Growth.
Yes. Yeah. The brain cells are eaten by the drugs, and when the brain cells are gone, who are you? You actually gone. And they are still, the brain cells are still being made because they are young, but they are also destroying them, which is very bad.
It's very sad.
It's very, very, very sad. It's a major issue. I don't know what we do, because I think parents need to be taught about drug abuse. They need to, because they don't know. They don't understand. Then the children also need to be taught. Because when you talk to children about drug abuse and you are giving them some facts, it's like,
what? I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
But schools are not concentrating on that because they are concentrating on grade. Academic excellence. And that's why you go to, I won't mention which university, but some faculties in certain universities. Children are there for 8, 9 years, 10 years.
They don't graduate.
They don't. Because they're taking drugs. But they passed. They got A's. They got A's. But when they went to the university, it is drugs and nothing else. So I'm finding very good brains from very good schools that I'm dealing with at the university level now in counseling. Good brains, people that got A's, people that appeared in the newspapers, Nakwa TV, because they had 400 and what marks, and they got an A, and they were number 16, I don't know, countrywide. They were number 2 countrywide, but now they are Rex. Total Rex, because they are smoking, they are drinking, and all what they can do. So I have spent 7 years, I have finished my actuarial science. But there's nothing I can do.
Yeah. Nobody will hire them.
Even if they are hired, by the way, they get hired by very big companies, including banks. But they only hired for 2 weeks because the bank cannot stomach you.
They won't perform.
They won't perform. They're hired by another company because qualifications are there, papers are there. The brain is not there. Only papers. Then they try you for 2 weeks. They sack you. That is what is happening.
So brain drain is no longer like our top cream going outside the country and offering the expertise. Brain drain is now drugs eating into.
Yes, very beautiful brains.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
And we're losing
that would be our tomorrow. And you know, this country has very sharp brains. Extremely sharp brains. Extreme people who are so good in whatever they are doing. Unfortunately, quite a number of them are being destroyed by drugs. And if schools can take it seriously, because these children need to be told in primary school, in secondary school, this is bad.
And given the facts.
And given those facts, let them hear. So it's you know, the Bible tells us, niambie mara nyingi na nyingi na, you know, many times, keep on telling me, keep on telling me. So we need to keep on telling them, until we salvage that one.
Sure.
So if that school can salvage 5, another school salvages 5. Hivyo. Church also the same. The youth, the adolescent, what are you telling them? And I still tell the church, and I'm happy because I'm in a TV station that is church-based. Let's tell the people how to go to heaven today. Tomorrow, let us tell them how to live in this world. Yes, so that they are not just going to heaven.
We're not just heavenly bound.
Yes.
And
we are living in this world.
We are utterly useless.
Yes.
God wants us to be productive.
Here and to do what His will is. Unfortunately, we are only telling people how to go to heaven, but we are not telling them how to live in this world. Because church is an agent of change.
Sure.
School is an agent of change. So if the church does its work, teaching and preaching, the school does its work, academic plus counseling. We counsel. Church also bring in counseling, so that the people are helped, the youth are helped, the parents are helped. Because if the parents don't understand them, in fact, the cause of all this is parenting.
It's parenting.
Yes.
Wow, Mrs. Ngure, this is heavy.
Yeah.
And it's very saddening. And at times, the more you listen, the more you feel maybe is there hope. And because this is the rays of hope.
Yes.
And we want to say there is hope. So where do we begin? How do we leverage on the situations that we have? How do we salvage what is remaining now? Please give us some guidance on that. Thank you so much. All is not lost. And nothing is impossible. Because there is something we can do. One, as a parent, once you become a parent or aspiring to become a parent, know you have a full-time job. Leave alone that job in the bank or that job in school. There's another full-time job of bringing up this child.
so that we take care of this child and train them the way they should go when they grow old. So it's my responsibility as a parent first, because I'm the first teacher.
And it's full-time.
It's a full-time job. And it's a very short period of time. By the time the children are 18, you have already shaped them. Now you can do what you want. Instead of rushing to get money and all that. And by the way, where are we taking this money? Because the more you create money, the more you need.
True.
So you keep on rushing after money, but finally end up losing a family. So the church, so the parent first, take care of that child, be in charge, then go for training. Churches are doing trainings, people are doing trainings, institutions are doing training. We train the parent on how to handle this child when they are still young. Because there is no grandmother and grandfather to give that training. Train the child, we give that. So a school as an agent of change comes in to train parents. They have brought the child to school. That one is a very good forum, because the mother must come, the father must come. So when we say parents come, they will come. They will come. They will come. Then you train them, because they don't know. Then get professionals that will give something that is good to the parent, so that even if we don't have a manual of bringing up children, there are some things that we must follow. If I'm not going to board with my children, I will not have them in the future. So even if there is no manual, I'll be told, board with your child. At least board with your child. At least be present. At least don't let the house girl do everything for your child. Come and bathe the baby. You will know whether they are being abused or not. Come early. Forget about that class now. If you did not do your master's or your degree then, wait kiddo. You can go to school even at 60 and you still run. But you don't even have to wait up to 60. By 40 years, you have brought up your children. So you can go
sacrifice them.
Just give them time. Then the church, can we bring in, and there's hope, because the church, now we have trained counselors all over, and they can get that chance to train people at the church school, teachers, the elders, whoever, with the parents and all that. How do we bring up this child? The school the same. So that we have responsible church members, and we have responsible teachers, we have responsible doctors, we have responsible. So if we do that, all of us, especially the three institutions, the school, the church, and the parenting institution, the three institutions, if they take good care of this child, in a few years' time, we shall have a different generation. Yes.
Because these are the major stakeholders.
These are the major stakeholders.
Wonderful.
In the life of a child.
Wonderful.
Yes. But we all blame the government. The government has not given us what we don't need the government to give us.
The children live at home.
They live at home. So we don't need it is a matter of the school. You parents, organize yourselves. Get somebody in that school and you be taught. The church, organize yourself. See the tithe and whatever which is being given the church. It's for what purpose? Help those parents. It's empowering the people in the church, so that we have responsible people coming from there. So if every church does that, and if every school does that, and all children go through the church, mosque, school, so within a few years we shall have a different generation altogether. Responsible generation.
Wonderful.
Yes.
You've also talked about role modeling.
Yes.
Well, that's powerful.
Very, very powerful. Children run what they live. And if a parent is not modeling the right character, the child will not get it. Because children run through imitation. They will do exactly what you do. So if you keep your shoes outside, and your 1-2-year-old is walking, they'll come and wear your shoes and walk exactly the way you walk. If you call somebody this name, your child will do exactly that. So children learn through imitation. So whatever we do, the child is seeing and copying. Now when they become adolescent, they cross their ears to advice. And I'm telling parents this. Adolescents close their ears to advice and they open their eyes to example.
Say that again.
Adolescents close their ears to advice, they open their eyes to example. So they look at you and what you are doing and they emulate you. So they can afford to say you are not a role model because you are not showing them the right thing. So what your actions speak louder than your words.
And that's why you ask most young people, teenagers, who is your role model?
Yeah.
They'll give you celebrities in the music culture, you know, in the movies.
Yes.
Those are their...
Yeah.
It's no wonder.
Yeah.
We don't model around here. And Mrs. Ngwere talked about also modeling and them closing. And I've observed of late, there's a lot of, should I call it, nudity. So who is modeling that?
Of course, we are modeling it ourselves. And of course, the television and the like, you know, it's the in thing, you know, that thing of the in thing.
Yeah.
But again, we're also starting it when a child is young. How are we dressing them? So you see a mother dressed very well, but a child who is half naked. It's a baby, yes.
I've seen
she's
girls
walking.
who are wearing strapless tops.
Yes,
You wonder,
and their breast, the breast which is not yet, is out.
It's out.
So what do you expect when they grow? That their breasts are not going to be out? That their eyes are not going to, their thighs are not going to be out? Because I have put her a short, this size. This size. She's a baby. Nobody is bothered with her because she's a baby. But what is she running?
They're wearing a hot pant, as they call it.
Yes. What is she running? That is a modeling.
Oh,
so it's so I might not be wearing the same, but I'm encouraging them to do it. But on the other hand, we have stopped parents from coming to school because of that. Because the mother is half naked. And then you see that 3 day in school and it is like...
You are the mother.
You are the mother.
Who are you?
You are a mother to a boy in the school or to a guy in the school. And schools have battled with the parents as far as dressing is concerned. They have really battled with the parents. Because the mother is coming, it's as if she's at the beach. And she has come to school. And what they forget is you are embarrassing your child. That child will not be able to face the others. Because it's like, that is your mother. And that is a source of low self-esteem for a child. Because they are not proud of you at all. So when the others are taking bang, why would he not take? After all, you are not my role model. You are not my role model.
And you have lost your moral authority.
Yes, fathers coming drunk to school, at home. Are you a role model? It's so embarrassing for a child.
It is.
Very embarrassing for the child. Those are the cases that we are left dealing with.
So role modeling is so critical.
It is very, very, very critical.
Madam Ngwere, let's talk about communication as we begin to wind up, because this is big. And you hear parents, complaining. How do I deal with this teenager? They keep slamming the doors and locking themselves in the bedrooms. I mean, communication is big.
It's a major, actually, most of the times why marriages fail is because of lack of communication. Because we are not talking to each other. We are talking at each other. Shouting and we don't solve any problem. We are just shouting at each other and we end up just getting angry and shut down. And that's what is happening. And both the parents must have ways, they must open communication channels. And to open communication channels with the children, it starts when a child is young.
We go back to where we started.
Go back, yes. Because you cannot keep off me, you don't talk to me, you don't tell me anything. Then when I'm 12 years old, that's when you are sitting me down. And you are telling me boys are going to do ABCD or girls are going to do ABCD. It is too late. Because, children talk. And they'll say anything. When they are young, they'll say anything. That is the time now I come in and listen to what they are saying and how they are saying it. and then answer them. But what do I want to do?
Everyone is
on the phone.
is on the phone. We're not
Yes.
talking.
Yes.
We're not communicating.
Yes, so this child comes
Yeah.
and holds my dress.
Yeah.
Mommy, and then, Enda, mwambie so and so.
Yeah.
Mommy, she has come from baby class. She has come back home. She has a lot of stories. You children are storytellers. In fact, even in rural primary, there is a storytelling lesson.
Actually, now since children went back to school, the challenge, because I've been talking to ECD teachers,
Yes.
and the challenge is that children are not keeping quiet, because I guess at home they were not able to.
They're not able to
So
talk.
they're traumatized and there are things they want to say. The first month, January, they were just talking. Me teacher, me teacher, me
yes,
teacher.
yes, because the children just want to talk.
Yeah.
So the parents should encourage that by listening. Those stories of I don't know who and you don't know them. I have a grandchild who is three years and something. And the other day I went to their house and it is like, show, I don't know who, I don't know who, I don't know who is crying in school. You know, your play group. I don't know who is crying, who is being fed by the teacher, who is doing what. And I had to sit down and listen to those, because he got so excited when he saw me.
Yeah.
Then I sat down, and then he comes and he gives those stories. You should listen to those stories and encourage, because that is when you run when your child is getting lost. Who are the friends? What are they doing? And you're encouraging him to talk because you are listening. So the day you want him to listen to you, they will listen
because you've
to
walked
you.
together.
Because you have walked a journey.
Mrs. Ngwere,
yes,
we must have you again for part B of this.
Thank you.
Because the time does not allow us, and we really want to expound on those important things.
Yeah.
Especially role modeling and communication, which is very key.
Yes.
For now, we must stop there. But before we do, take 30 seconds to address that child and give them hope, and another 30 seconds to talk to a parent.
Okay. Yeah. I'll start with the child, and I'll tell children there is light at the end of the tunnel. All is not lost. Even when you are facing issues, please talk to someone, because that talking to someone will be the beginning of looking for solution to that issue or coping with the issue, because we say not all problems are solved, but some of them we look for ways and means of coping. So if you talk to someone, they will give you direction. Don't keep quiet with the problems. And also telling parents, please take charge. You have a family forever. Your work, your business will not be forever, but family forever. Take
family
charge.
Forever. Take charge. And that's a good way to end the show today. Thank you very much for joining us. I believe you have been helped, and you're going to take this up, and Mrs. Ngwere is available. We can connect you with her through CAC TV and also through Christian Education Department. She can be of help to you and to your group, to your church, to your school. Thank you very much. God bless you and take care.